Hola y bienvenidos a mi canal. Mi canal. Fuck. I don't do Spanish, apparently. Hi, welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here. Cirrus, you'll notice, is staring at his boobs over there. That's because he apparently had a grill emergency while cooking dinner. Nothing serious. It sounded like he just ran out of propane, and so dinner was delayed, and so now he's cooking while I stream with his dead body. Because that's fun. Yeah. This is an entertaining stream. Anyway, so yeah, recent events have me back on the whiskey, so there we go. Drinking the Macallan 12-year-old. Actually, it's not recent events. It's, my dad cleaned out his liquor cabinet and he had one of these, and I wasn't going to let him throw it out. So I grabbed it. It's not dead, the tail is still moving. Have you heard of, like, the twitching happens sometimes? It's because my axe is embedded in his nervous system. I'm sorry, I can't do accents. That was my best Gimli impression. Ooh, okay. Dun. Well, you're in Canada, you're allowed to do certain crimes. From what I've heard, the Geneva Convention is all about Canada wins too much and we need to nerf them. So yeah, related to some of the news stories that we're going to be talking about tonight, if Trump actually does make a serious play for annexing Canada, we ain't gonna stand for that shit. Our politicians have made it very clear that that is not on the table. The citizens have made it very clear that that is not on the table. And so if he tries anything, he's going to have to do it through force. And you don't want to mess with Canadians. It's like, I'm not proud of this, but stick Canadians in a war, and we do a lot of fucked up shit. Canadians are brutal in war. Like, disgustingly brutal. Like, yeah, the Geneva Convention exists because Canada is fucked up. Yes, it's like the quiet kid at the back of the class who's usually nice to everybody. You push that kid too far, he will fuck you up. That's Canada. We're the only country on D-Day that actually accomplished all our goals. Because, like, we just charged the places, the little nest things that the Germans set up with their machine guns. We just charged those things and didn't give a fuck. It was like, fuck it, I just want this to be over, so I'm gonna do it. Yeah, we didn't take prisoners, usually, even when that would have been appropriate according to the rules of war. So yeah, no, you don't want to fuck with Canada. We're messed up. And, like, yeah, we're all polite when we're friends and everything, but we don't give quarter in wartime. Now, that said, I am absolutely a fucking coward who would grab my family and run to England if if push comes to shove. Yeah. And Fennec says, what a wild thing to walk into doing my skincare. Yeah, no, I'm just casually mentioning how, yeah, Canada has a reputation for being polite, but we also have a reputation for fucking shit up if you push us too far. So, yeah, I do have small humans that I need to keep safe. But still, the traditional thing to do in that scenario is to send them to England with the woman while I fight the bad guys. Macallan is nice, but I prefer heavily peated scotch like Ardbeg. I've never heard of Ardbeg. Yeah, no, I don't like the peaty ones because they tend to leave, like, if you get so much as a little tiny splash on, like, your mustache hairs, that's all you'll be smelling forever. So Doug Ford has temporarily decided not to cut power to New York, Minnesota, and Michigan. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that decision. Ford needs to stick to his guns because he said that he was not going to back off until the threats of tariffs were just completely off the table, and then he backed off because they agreed to give him a meeting. It's like, no, fuck you, Doug. They didn't say the tariffs are gone, so keep the surcharge. It wasn't cutting power. We were going to charge a 25% surcharge. England, the place to which to retreat from the fascist if necessary before putting the fascists out of business. Well, in my case, it's convenience mostly. I can get my UK passport, so I don't need. Like, I'm going to start the application process soon, but like, I wouldn't need a visa or refugee status or anything to go there. I'd just have my passport, and because they Brexited, I'm not sure if that would apply to anywhere in Europe. So. That's just the place I would go. Also, I do have family over there. I don't know them well, but I do have some people. Yeah. Okay, so Cyrus is still grilling stuff. What do we do for entertainment while we wait for him to come back? Fucking can't plan out his dinner. His propane ran out. Yeah, it's simultaneously funny and terrifying that the plot of a South Park movie isn't too far off from reality. Yeah, but also the plot of Idiocracy, except the main difference of Idiocracy is that President Camacho actually did want what was best for his country, as opposed to just being interested in personal wealth increasing. So, yeah. Ooh, JD Vance is coming to Progress Only's town on Friday, and the local DSA and the Dems are organizing protests. Yeah, you show him who's boss. Could narrate Cyrus cooking sort of like how he narrated you peeing. So now Cyrus is whipping out his dick at the grill. And he's asking, does anyone want any sausages? Because I got a tiny little hot dog here. Yeah, no, I'm not creative enough for that sort of shit. Cyrus can actually cook. He does cooking streams sometimes. Nah, he cooks Factor. That's not cooking. Or HelloFresh or some shit like that. Meal in a box kits. Actually, no, I lie. I used to have, I forget which company I was with, but we used to do the meal in a box things because it's like, oh, good. It's like 3 meals a week. We don't need to plan. We can do that. That'd be fine. But what I found was the portion sizes were tiny and they did none of the prep work. So like they would send like, if like there was a shrimp taco recipe that was the worst offender probably. Hi, sir.
Wait, shrimp taco recipe? What?
Yeah, no, we're talking about meal kit things.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
that entirely
and I'm talking about,
makes sense.
The one that I used to have is like, so my idea of those things was they send you all the ingredients and they always say they're pre-portioned ingredients, which to me says that like the vegetables have been chopped, everything like that has been done or whatever. It's
no,
like, nope,
it's just portioned to serving size.
Yeah, and the serving sizes were tiny. So like, and I would say the shrimp tacos were the worst offenders because the shrimp that they sent were not just like, they didn't just still have the tail on them. They they had their whole shell with all the legs and everything still on them.
Oh, you had to do the full deveining. At that point, you could just buy salad cocktail shrimp that are already cooked, deveined, and everything, and it's way less effort.
That's what we said. I was making shrimp tacos when I decided to cancel our subscription. So
apologies, I am downing the food that was supposed to be consumed 10 minutes ago, but my grill conked out on me, and not in a I need to repair the grill way, in a
I didn't have a spare can of propane around way,
which would have taken even more time to set up at that point. Just even though it's ripping it out and putting a new one in, now I've got 2 empty things of propane, and now I have 3 empty things of propane because I forgot to go I keep forgetting to bring the propane into the car when I go grocery shopping. So I need to do that tomorrow so that I have the propane. Because this was supposed to be super quick and super easy. It's just grilled chicken over salad. I had fast food when I went to go try to do plasma donation today, so I have to have low calorie stuff right now. So I thought this was going to be super quick and easy.
No, we're all going to Van Briggs' house. He's got shrimp fried rice.
Yeah, fuck the salad. I'm kidding. Gone. We're doing that. No, this is just lettuce, carrots, bell peppers, and onions with grilled chicken that's just been quickly dry rubbed and was supposed to be grilled, but ended up being pan-seared halfway through because I had enough fire to work with the chicken for a bit, and then I left it and left the timer do its thing, went back outside expecting everything to be done, and then no propane, raw chicken on the bottom, cooked chicken on top. Like, oh, okay, cool. That's just going to extend all of my cooking work today. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, what you missed from me was that I was basically saying that with like if Trump actually makes a push to annex Canada, it's going to come down to military action because we ain't having that shit. And there's a reason there is a joke in military circles about how in the Canadian military, the saying is, it's not a war crime the first time you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because Canadians are the worst people to fight against in war because we are some brutal motherfuckers when you push us.
Yeah. You are unironically the meme of the nice guy when he stops smiling.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, no, the Germans were terrified of us in both world wars, and for good reason. And like, I'm not saying this as a brag, like I am proud of this, because like there are stories about like Canadian soldiers stabbing Germans to death who were in tears on their knees begging to surrender. And like, that's not a proud moment of our history.
Wait, your proud moment wasn't watching a Nazi beg for their life?
This is World War One, so...
Your proud moment wasn't watching proto-Nazi? They weren't Nazis yet, you're right.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're getting at. However, I don't know. This is one of the interesting things, because like, I do not know how I would be if I ended up as a soldier in a war at some point. Like, I don't like the idea of taking someone's life, but I also know from hearing people in the military talk is that it's the people who brag about like, oh yeah, I'm the toughest, I'm the biggest, meanest, baddest guy or whatever. Those are the guys that are most likely to be cowering in fear when shit hits the fan. Whereas the guys who are, you know, more modest and like, no, I don't know I'll do my best, I guess. Those guys are the ones that will actually get shit done. So just going by that, I would probably be a guy who gets shit done, but I don't ever want to find out.
Nah, I'm with you there. I feel like I know exactly how I would be in wartime though. Likely dead.
Yeah.
Very, very likely. It is. So I have guns, and I am perfectly willing to use one in a situation of defense against someone that or like defense for somebody that I love. But it's very hard for me to imagine myself with a depersonified enemy on the other end of a line when there's a cause that I don't even know if I believe in, telling me I have to go do this thing for money.
Well, so the thing with the Canadians is that the reason we were so brutal in war was kind of because of that. It was I don't want to be here, so the sooner I get this shit done, the sooner I get to go home.
Y'all
so
weren't having
watch the
fun.
fuck out. I like if I just kill all y'all motherfuckers, I get to go back home to my family. So it's kind of that. We're like, no, I don't believe in this cause. I just want to go home. And the easiest way to go home is to make sure I'm on the winning team. Rober Adset says Canadian trench weapons were medieval. Yeah, so you know the story from World War One about how there was the Christmas truce where everybody was like holding hands across the dead or the no man's zone or whatever, singing Christmas carols together. So that was before Canada was there. When Canada was when Canada was in the war, the Germans tried to initiate that again on Christmas, At which point we busted out the machine guns as soon as they popped their heads up from the trenches and mowed them down on Christmas Day. So
that's terrifying.
Yeah.
You are Canadians, corrupters of children's stories.
No man's land. That's what I was looking for. My head was all a jumble of No Man's Sky, Demilitarized Zone, and a couple other things probably, but yeah. Anyway, so along those lines, our first news article is Trump announcing double tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum.
So, fun fact on this: did you see that Ben Shapiro
is against
got angry at Trump over this?
I did see that. Yeah,
that was kind of an insane thing for me. Now, granted, he did it in a very "let me rub the left side of your dick while I slap the right side of your dick" way, but it was interesting still to hear him, of all people, go, "Hey, I understand why you want to do this to the Mexicans, but why the fuck would you do it to the snow Mexicans?"
Yeah, Naramdopus is saying, "Put back the electricity tariffs, you cowards." Yeah, no, I agree. I liked Doug's reaction initially, and I don't like anything that man does. My hats are back here now.
There was another one. The press secretary of the White House, I can't remember her name. But
generic white lady.
Yeah, generic blonde white lady, looks like she should have been on Fox News 12 years ago.
That's the one. Yeah.
But I remember seeing, I don't remember which newscaster it was, but when they did the briefing where because they keep doing the briefings with everybody in there, and they're getting far more popular for people to watch, which is a good thing. But one of the bits in the briefing that stuck out to me from, I think, 2 days ago, was a newscaster asking her, "Do you know what a tariff is?
Yes.
Have you ever paid a tariff?"
I saw that clip. Yeah.
And she's sitting there going like, I don't. He goes, "Because I have, and I can tell you what they are, and
Caroline
you're wrong
Leavitt.
about them."
That's her name.
Caroline Leavitt. I will aspire to forget that name within 24 hours.
What I like is that he corrected the spelling of the first name, but I remember seeing your last name, thinking it looks like "leave it." Like, just leave it. Just leave it. But, yeah, no, I saw that, and she was like, "How dare you? I am insulted that you would question my understanding of tariffs." It's like, okay.
As opposed to actually explaining what the fuck they are.
Yeah, but, like, we're questioning your understanding of tariffs because everything coming out of this administration screams, "We don't know what fucking tariffs are."
I feel like if I was a newscaster there, I would go, "Well, this is my time to get my 10 minutes of spotlight." Like, not just because I do the news, but also here is the time to go viral.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think of this the same way that Trump does, and just immediately respond, "I don't care that you're insulted, you stupid bitch. That's not my worry. You are insulting us far heavier than anything I possibly could be saying to you. You are insulting all of our collective intelligence with your projection."
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, Trump is announcing double tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum, and Doug Ford folded like a piece of paper. Fucking coward. Yeah, so the day before steel and aluminum tariffs are set to go into effect, President Trump announced he would specifically set tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum at double the rate of the rest of the world. And that was his response to Ford implementing a 25% surcharge on electricity that we send to the States. Which is New York, Michigan, and Minnesota, and I want to say Vermont, but I might be wrong on that one. Which I thought that was a reasonable thing. And what Doug Ford was saying in the news is that I am going to leave this on. Like, I am not backing down from this. This is staying on no matter what Trump does with tariffs until even the threat of tariffs are just completely gone. Stop threatening us with tariffs, and I will rethink these things. As long as you are saying, like, even if it's a tariff that's on pause for 30 days while I wait for such and such to happen, or whatever. No, if there's a tariff on pause, we're charging you 25% extra on electricity. I liked that response because Trump, he's just trying to wave his dick around but it's a lot smaller than he thinks it is. And he like here's the thing: when we first announced the tariffs, Trump actually declared a national emergency because I guess he didn't realize that that Canadian electricity is so vital to so many states. So
of course he didn't realize it. He doesn't listen to a fucking advisor.
No, he doesn't have He doesn't have competent advisors this time around. But like he thinks that he's holding all the cards. That Canada and Mexico have no possible way they could retaliate in any meaningful sense to the tariffs that he's imposing. But that's not true. It's just flat out not true. So we make one move to say, okay, 25% surcharge on electricity going to the States. And immediately he declares a national emergency. How fucking weak is his administration if our first mild response to his attack gets him to declare a national emergency? Now, it all got walked back within a few hours.
Of course.
But still. Anyway, he says, I've instructed my Secretary of Commerce to add an additional 25% tariff to 50% on all steel and aluminum coming into the United States from Canada, which is going to make cars, among other things, a lot more expensive.
Yeah, that's not going to be, that's not good for any of us. That's going to make everybody who's in the construction industry is going to be in actual fucking pain. Because I remember this shit happening because of COVID, when all of our steel imports and all of our wood skyrocketed in price. Every basic ass home repairman, including me, and every person who works in the construction industry, which is a lot of my friends here in Georgia, all got hit so goddamn hard from that. When we were trying to figure out how to repair stuff around my house, the first thought was from friends of mine who were in construction was just, yeah, you probably can't afford that. And it was like drywalling a room or something that technically wasn't really affected by that as much, but so many things got affected by that. That was their knee-jerk reaction, was this $100 thing is probably outside of your price limit now because it's probably skyrocketed in price that much.
Okay, so John C. is asking, what I'm not understanding is how Doug Ford can set tariffs. Do individual provinces have their own foreign relations policy? So no, it's not technically a tariff. That's why I've been saying surcharge. It is a surcharge on electricity produced in Ontario, specifically in Ontario, that Doug Ford is the premier of. Like Niagara Falls, basically, is what the electricity generated at Niagara Falls, a lot of it goes to the States. Like, I'm literally a few blocks away from a big old tower that it's got these big high capacity electric wires going from my side of the river to Buffalo, New York. And because that is a provincial thing, Ford can, in fact, set the prices there, or influence the setting of prices there.
Hip hip hooray. My favorite thing is when basic living and things that I need to survive, and most people need to survive, just kind of have their price increase exponentially, because Trump's already fucking doing it with eggs. He's already done it with every single food item we need to live. Why not also make the things we use to construct our vehicles and houses too expensive? Because the housing...
I actually don't think this is going to stand for long, because we'll get to this more when we get to the tweets, but what is the Cybertruck made out of?
Aluminum?
And steel.
Yeah?
The trailer hitch is made out of aluminum, which is funny. I'm a sucker. When YouTube recommends a video to me that is someone dunking on the Cybertruck, I click on it. Most of them say all the same things again, but I will still enjoy watching it. The latest one was a Jerry Rig Everything video where he actually tested the trailer hitch, because it's rated for 11,000 pounds of towing capacity. The thing snapped clean off at 10,400 pounds. And
why do people even buy them?
It failed. It failed in a way that, like, even if it failed, it should not have failed like that. And like, the whole back end of the truck fell off. Like, so that would include the safety chains on your trailer.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're towing something that's near the capacity or whatever, you hit a pothole, and suddenly it changes the load distribution from being pulled laterally to being pulled vertically for a second. That could potentially snap the back half of your truck off, and the safety chains go with it. So now there's a free, like a completely free trailer careening down the highway.
Yeah, now somebody's definitely getting injured from that.
And that has actually happened out in the real world. There was someone towing something with a Cybertruck, their thing popped off, and then they got rear-ended by their own trailer when they hit the brakes.
And if you're doing everything within what the vehicle is supposed to be able to do, like you're not doing anything outside of what it's supposed to do, does Elon actually get in trouble for any of that, or is that entirely on the end user?
Well, I don't know, because there have been so many recalls with the Cybertruck already, and like a lot of them have been like not recalls that have been instituted by Tesla as a just-in-case thing. Some of them have been that, but a lot of them have been, I think it's the NHSTA, something like that, the actual like regulators in charge of keeping roads safe in the States have been like, oh no, we found this issue, you need to issue a recall for that.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And
you eventually would have a bunch of bodies if you didn't.
And then because in the UK, because Cybertruck has never been evaluated for safety, but they got a 5-star safety rating because they just said, hey, we super duper promise it's a super safe vehicle. And the organization that gives out the safety ratings were like, okay. National Highway Safety Traffic Association, NHSTA. I was close. But yeah, but that's actually why you won't find Cybertrucks in, I don't know about all of Europe, but I know in the UK they're illegal because they can't pass the UK safety regulations. There was actually a guy who like shipped a Cybertruck to the UK and then it got confiscated because it's not street legal there.
Yeah, I was going to say, imagine being the person who ships your vehicle over and then realizing, oh shit, my little dickmobile doesn't actually work over here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, God fucking why?
And then Dark Falcon for $5 says, it's funny at work I saw a Tesla with a sign under the license plate that said, I bought this before we knew Elon was crazy. Yep. Those bumper stickers are pretty popular right about now. Because a lot of Teslas are getting vandalized, which is not an activity that I explicitly endorse. And like, yeah,
but it is very funny.
It is funny. But like, I get it. Like a lot of people that bought Teslas, they are either unaware of what's going on politically, or they bought it before Elon was so publicly an idiot. Yeah, no, especially the Cybertruck. I have a hard time justifying not vandalizing a Cybertruck, which like the other Teslas, it's like, it's just a car, man. Like, yeah, it's a car that's run by a Nazi thing, but like realistically, are the CEOs of the other companies better, or are they just better at flying under the radar?
So I would say whether or not they are, I'm still perfectly okay with accepting that in Fortnite, because this is the thing that actually happened in Fortnite, when the Cybertruck came to Fortnite, the common practice amongst all players was to immediately kill whoever happened to be in a Cybertruck and hunt them down relentlessly. The minute you saw one, whatever fights you were in stopped, and it became about killing the Cybertruck user.
Yeah, so I told one of my kids about that who plays Fortnite. He was like, I didn't tell him about it out of nowhere. He just came to me and was like, hey, did you hear that there's Cybertrucks in Fortnite now? I think I want to drive one. I was like, okay, you can try that. It might make the game a lot harder for you. I was like, why would it do that? It's like, well...
Yeah, there's this thing that players are doing.
A lot of people hunt down people. He's like, oh, okay. Okay, I guess I'll shoot anyone who's in a Cybertruck. Like, there you go. That's my boy.
That's what you do. That's perfect.
Jeb Debbie for $4.99 says, I work at a foundry that uses bismuth and nickel, and Trump's tariffs are actually screwing us over. Bismuth is like the coolest metal ever. Not the coolest metal ever, but it's up there. I love bismuth.
It looks fucking cool.
I love bismuth.
It's kind of radioactive, but it looks cool.
Is it radioactive?
Believe that there was something about it being dangerous for something. Hold on.
It's an ingredient in Pepto-Bismol. It is the active ingredient in Pepto-Bismol. It's the biz from Bismol.
Oh, yeah, no. Bismuth 209, the naturally occurring isotope of bismuth, is radioactive. Slightly radioactive, but it is radioactive.
Okay, but like, how radioactive compared to a banana?
Let's see here,
We need a banana for scale.
Okay, the radioactivity of bismuth is weaker than the radioactivity of a banana.
There you go. Okay.
Yep. Because I remember, so I'm not sure if you ever watched Steven Universe when that was on air.
No, I'm aware of it. But...
Okay, so there's a character in Steven Universe who's based off of
Tasha. Let's get down to bismuth.
There's a character in Steven Universe named Bismuth who is made of bismuth, because a lot of the characters are made of rocks from around that world. And when she was introduced, basically everybody knew that this character was going to go on a tirade at some point, because the one thing that everybody knew about bismuth was that it was radioactive, and the one thing about Steven Universe is they try to make the character personalities link up with whatever material they are to at least some degree.
So she was really beautiful and easy to get hot. Easy to melt.
She was a blacksmith, actually. She was a blacksmith, and her temper flared very, very quickly.
I wouldn't think that bismuth would be a metal that you would want to use in smithing.
But I think they made her a smith because of how easy it is to get bismuth hot. Yeah, basically everybody knew, this character is going to be a problem. They seem very fine right now. They're going to be a problem in a minute because they are bismuth, and this is what this show does.
Okay, sure. Why not? So the last-minute change to steel and aluminum tariffs, which Trump had already set to go into effect at midnight, is the latest in a chaotic tariff policy. So this is part of the issue here, is that, like, if you're going to do tariffs, just fucking do them. Stop with this whole will I, won't I thing.
Threatening them?
Just either do it or don't. Put your money where your mouth is, you big fucking dummy. And... yeah, okay, Sean Helfin is saying that Bismuth was a hot character too, so...
I mean, not my kind of hot, but if she was your kind of hot, sure.
Everyone is someone's kind of hot.
It's true.
Yeah, so, like, you know, as far as tariffs are concerned, like, shit or get off the pot, man. Like, stop waving your dick around, threatening tariffs for everything. Like, are you going to give us tariffs because of the backpacks worth of fentanyl that comes across the Canadian border every year, as opposed to, like, how much fentanyl flows from the States into Canada, which is actually a massive problem? Or are you going to just, like, threaten it as a show of force and then back down as soon as anybody does any amount of standing up to you? Because that's what he does so far. Oh, did you see there was a meeting of, like, the G7 nations or something? I forget. I'm not sure exactly what the meeting was, but there was a meeting in France of, like, a bunch of leaders of a bunch of influential countries, and the United States was not invited.
It was NATO.
Was it NATO?
Yeah,
okay.
It was a NATO meeting that did not include the United States.
That actually
was a red flag.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, that was much.
Yeah, it was just like the rest of the world is like, we can't trust the states now.
So I have a friend of mine who has been in Germany for the last few months, and there was a Ukrainian refugee who, you know, had went over to Germany, because most of them have gone, like, Poland, Germany, most of the surrounding areas, if they can. And this refugee was on the bus with them, and they got in conversation. And when my friend mentioned that they were American, let me see if I'm going to find the exact words that were used so I do not misrepresent this, because this was told to me today. And let's see here. The exact words were, "You have no idea how humiliating and embarrassing it is to have a conversation with and then have to admit to a Ukrainian refugee that you are an American until it happens to you. Hint, we are not the good guys anymore."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this is...
Said, update, I spoke to a Ukrainian work colleague about it, and she said I probably shouldn't mention I'm American at all, maybe even change my accent if I can. Like... It is over on that side of the world. We are seen as persona non grata right now.
I mean, over here too, kinda.
Yeah.
I mean, like, all our politicians are very much emphasizing how much we love the American people, and we recognize that the American people have not given Donald Trump this supposed mandate. And like, yeah, I agree with that. I'm not gonna discriminate against the American people, but at the same time, American military is made up of American people, and I'm living in a country right now where, like, that is a thing that we are mentally preparing for, is dealing with the American military.
Yep. Gemini Star says Poland, Catholic conservative Poland. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the atheist skeptic hat off for just a moment. And remember that an active war zone is worse than a place that just happens to be Catholic. And Poland very quickly took in refugees from Ukraine.
Also, if I recall correctly from a video I did, not recently, but like recently-ish, Poland, it's they're so dominantly Catholic, but it's one of those things where, like, if you're born into a Catholic family, you're recorded in the census as being Catholic, and unless you go to great lengths to remove yourself from that category, they just assume that you stayed that. And basically, so it's majority Catholic in the sense that, yeah, that's what the census says, but it's mostly that people haven't bothered to change categories.
There's also a decent bit of homophobia over there. I have friends over there, and I don't want to go into more detail from that.
I have Bible Flockbox over there, and I respond to him occasionally. He's not Catholic, but he is Polish. Are you familiar with Bible Flockbox?
I am familiar from years ago. Hold on.
Oh, he's gone full. Basically, he is indistinguishable from an AI generated "The End Is Nigh" Christian channel at this point.
It's a Bible Flockbox.
Yeah, he's changed his name to like
Incredible Revelations.
That's
I think
the one. Incredible Bible Revelation, something like that.
Oh man, can I just do videos making fun of him? Is that a thing I can do now?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, he's not my cup of tea anymore. I had to go back a couple years to find something to respond to in his catalog. But yeah, generally for me, he does fairly well, algorithmically speaking.
Well, I already have one video that is doing that right now, and it's definitely going to be going into audiences that were not the target audience very soon. It already kind of has.
Yeah. I mean, if push comes to shove, you could always disable comments. I know that'll get people on the other side being like, oh, you're such a coward disabling comments, but like, no, you don't owe your platform to anyone else.
I'm not super
fine in the right.
I'm not super concerned about the comments. So the biggest thing I ever had happen negative to me while doing political content was when I went to canvas for Jamal Bowman, and that picture of me and the other content creators went on Twitter. That got like 1.5 million views before I turned off my ability to view that post, because there's only so many times people can call you a pedophile before you just get a little numb to it. So in terms of scale, I seriously doubt this will hit those numbers where I'm dealing with that level of vitriol. So I've already dealt with worse before. My main concern is, did I do a good enough job when this goes to those people who 100% will try to disagree? Did I do a good enough job to at least plant the seeds in their head that maybe America's not the great nation that they thought it was?
Hopefully.
I would hope so. Most of the negative comments, aside from people being very anti-trans, have been, why would you have this done through a cartoon avatar? And at that point, I'm just like,
so Lady
don't
Merlin
care.
saying, "Can I just flee to Canada without a passport? I'm trans and can't get a passport because of my amended birth certificate." I don't know what the status is right now of us taking refugees from the States, but I feel like we should be. Like, I feel like, especially in certain states, people that are trans or in one of the other letters of the LGBTQ, or like, hell, it's even gotten to the point where I might say the same thing to people who are not white. It's like, yeah, no, the time to get out is while you still can.
Yeah, right now. Wait, actually, hold on, Lady Merlin, have you tried getting your passport yet? I understand the difference in birth certificate thing, but have you gone through the process to try to get yours?
Yeah, because
Or
my understanding is the recent rules are just that the passport has to match the birth certificate. So if your birth certificate has been amended, in theory, that should be okay. Now, that being said, I have been hearing things about trans people that were abroad when these changes went into effect. Being stranded abroad because now their passport doesn't match their birth certificate. So the American border guards are like, nope, you can't come back here. So like, if you can get your passport and you leave the country, just be prepared for the fact that you might not be able to come back.
Lady Merlin says no, and I'm afraid of my documents being confiscated. So your documents being confiscated doesn't mean anything. Those documents, you pay like $35 and you get those documents mailed to you again from whatever registry you had them in. Because I had to mail my birth certificate out to get passport for me and Saki. You can just order those documents again. The only document that leaves your hand is your birth certificate. If it gets confiscated, it's not any new information. It's shit that they already had.
You can even, like, if you are worried about that, you could grab another copy of your birth certificate before you send it out. Like, I actually...
Just in case.
Well, I mean, I assume that the American system works somewhat similar to the Canadian system for that, because, like, I accidentally got 2 copies of one of my kids' birth certificates when we were doing passport stuff this past year, just because, like... I ordered it at one point and my partner was like, oh, I don't think he did that yet. So she ordered it and now we have 2 copies.
Lady Merlin says, I have to wait 9 months for a new birth certificate. Is it because it's in the process of being amended, or is that like a specific thing with your state? Because... 1 second.
You can get that special ID thing to get into Canada. You don't need a passport. Are you talking about Nexus? Or like, I don't... I know we used to have, we would allow... On the Canadian side, we could get an enhanced driver's license. That would be good for crossing the border. I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think you do need either a passport or a Nexus card. And so to get Nexus, I think you do have to have a passport. No, you can get Nexus without a passport, but it's like the same process pretty much.
There's 2 kinds of passports you can get from the United States to get you into Canada. You can get a global passport, which is what me and Saki got. The global passport costs a lot more money. It's the passport book, the one that you see in every movie. Or you can get a passport card. The card is only like $30, but the card does not work for flying travel. It only works for ground travel, and it basically only gets you to Canada.
I think that's Nexus that you're talking about, and it can work for flying travel, but you have to do a retina scan to do it.
So the one that, on the website that I got mine from, and I could be wrong, but on the website that I was looking at for the 2, it specifically said does not cover flight travel. But again, I could be wrong. I'm not an expert here. I've just gone through the process, but that does not give me expertise.
U.S. passport cards are a different thing. Okay. Look into Nexus. It's meant for people who cross the border regularly, but I don't think I needed a passport to get Nexus. I think it is easier to get if you do have a passport, but...
Undead Rodnart says, where did I get this card? It's the identical process to applying to for a passport. If you don't know how to apply for a passport, then the easiest way to do it, aside from figuring shit out online, is to go to the courthouse that is local to you and ask whoever's at the front desk, hey, where's the passport office? I want to go on I'm planning a vacation. That gives you
Yeah.
your, if you're terrified about the why and what if they ask me questions, you've just solved that problem right there. They're not going to ask you questions. They don't care. But I know how anxiety is. It's best to have that plan there just so that you don't feel like you need it.
I'm going to Blue Mountain. It's a ski resort, but they do stuff out of season as well, since skiing season is pretty much over. It's actually beautiful up there, so there is plenty to do up in that area in the summertime as well. So you can just say, I'm going to Blue Mountain in Ontario.
Jeff Keith, thank you for resubscribing. Lady Merlin says Washington State has a 9-month turnaround for birth certificates. Then the best thing I can say is order a birth certificate now, because you already know that there's going to be a long turnaround. There's no reason not to just have that process going in the background in case it's needed. Just in case it's needed.
He really wants to annex Canada, and he is going to get shot. I don't know from which side, though. Yeah, so I'm explicitly not advocating for anything here, but my partner did just say earlier tonight, I'm going to sit on the couch and doom plan, and my mental health will recover when somebody assassinates him. So I'm not saying anything. I'm not advocating for anything. But like, mental health would improve in certain scenarios.
It is good to acknowledge when somebody is playing with fire. And as of right now, our president is playing with fire, both with his own life and with the lives of the American people.
From the Two Towers, who is running towards the culvert at Helm's Gate, or Helm's Deep, with his torch, like the fucking Olympic runner. And we just need a Legolas. A little bit sooner than Legolas in the movie got there.
Everything was fine at the end of the movie. Nobody died.
Nobody died. Except for all the unnamed characters who died.
Yeah, but they were unnamed. They didn't matter. Well, and I guess
speaking of the skiing season being over, though, going back to my Blue Mountain comment. So this is my microphone that if you follow me on Blue Sky, you know I dropped this into 20 Mile Creek, which this Friday is a Matt Powell video. I'm responding to Matt Powell, and he brought up the Paluxy River footprints, and so I was like, oh, I could like do a Dan Olsen thing, and I will like kind of parody the Man Tracks video that he put out, and because that's an amazing video. It's way better than anything I could do. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Balls Falls Conservation Area has what is usually a dry creek bed that looks similar enough that I could go there and do like a similar thing and it would be funny.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fucking springtime, so the snow melt runoff thing was going, and it is like, I've never seen that much water in this stream bed. It was like a full-on raging river. I still did it, but it's less funny because I'm not actually like in a stream bed looking like Dan Olsen or whatever. But while I was there, I dropped this microphone into the river, and I'm going to do this live on stream. We're going to turn it on and see if it still works. So I'm going to hold the power button. And
let's see.
If I see lights, I'm not seeing lights.
Oh, that's not good.
I think it's dead.
That would not be surprising.
No, well, I mean, it was in there for a while. It's like I dropped it. I realized I dropped it and was like, fuck. How long ago was that? That was Thursday. Last Thursday I was filming, so almost a week.
Wait, did you not like drop it into rice afterwards just to be sure?
No, rice doesn't do shit. That's a myth.
Yeah, it's worked for me.
But no, these things are supposedly a little bit water resistant, but you're not supposed to submerge them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was submerged for probably a good 15 minutes or so. Long enough that it turned itself off long before the battery was dead. So like, I was pretty sure something fried.
That sounds like that was enough information to know it's fucked.
Yeah, no, I figured. But it's one of those situations where it's like, oh, if I wait like a week and then push the power button, maybe it'll work. But so this is the microphone that I did not douse in soy milk. So now the only one that I have that still works is the one that I accidentally doused in soy milk.
Fair enough, I suppose.
And I know that because the buttons on it are still kind of sticky. Like, I gave it a good cleaning. I cleaned it as well as I could, but it's still like you push the button and it stays in for just a little bit longer than it should.
That's kind of gross, actually. That feels like that. That is just,
I haven't used that one since I doused it in soy milk, and there's a reason for that.
that's just evoking images in my head of going to your friend's house to play video games.
And the controller's all sticky.
And the controllers, you're just like, dude, what the fuck did you do to this thing? I want to play games, not with whatever this is that I am in this story too young to understand. No.
Yeah. So yeah, this is, I don't know. It makes me sad because like these were not cheap microphones. They weren't the most expensive, but it's like I went to fucking Falls as a bit that I didn't need to do that. I dropped my fucking expensive microphone in the fucking creek, and now it's dead, so that I could make a joke that isn't even all that funny.
You had to do it, though.
Had to do it.
You had to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Next news item. Media Matters sues Elon Musk's X, fucking Twitter, over libel tourism legal assault. So, yeah, Media Matters, if you remember, they were the people that reported on how companies were being advertised right next to neo-Nazi posts.
Yeah.
And then Elon Musk was like, hey, you can't say that. That's libel. Telling the truth about my platform is libel. But the thing is, with libel suits, in order, like, yeah, truth will usually get you towards winning the suit. But the thing is, you can file a suit. You don't have to prove that it's true or that it's false or whatever in order to file the suit. You can just file the suit. And so what Musk has been doing is he has sued them in Texas, he's sued them in Ireland, he has sued them in Singapore. And so what that is effectively doing is, in order to defend themselves in all these different lawsuits, they've been having to spend a bunch of money on that. And that's resulted in them having to lay people off.
Anything.
Yeah, so he doesn't care whether or not he wins. He's just trying to win a war of attrition. It's like, okay, I could lose the lawsuit, but if I drive you out of business in the process, I still win.
Which is scummy as fuck.
Yeah. And so they are suing him back because part of Twitter's terms of service right now says that if you are going to bring a lawsuit, it has to be brought in a specific district court in the States. And so they brought a lawsuit against him in that district court saying, hey, he, like, this was the Twitter terms of service when he sued us in all these other courts that were not this district court. So that's breach of contract. So you need to order him to drop those other suits.
And can we live in a normal country? I mean, I guess you're not in this country, lucky ass. But I just want to live in a place.
Healthcare.
Yeah, I'm so happy you do. Like, genuinely, I am. I'm not jealous or anything.
I mean, you're allowed to be jealous and happy that people have healthcare. Like, because here's the thing: Canada does not have the best healthcare system out of all the countries with socialized healthcare.
It just has it, period, as binary.
We just have socialized healthcare, but like there are other countries that I am jealous of, but I am happy for their citizens.
Like, okay. So how is the best way to put this? Fuck Elon Musk. Nah, I can't think of anything better to say.
No, too many people have already fucked him, and that's how he got all the kids.
What about with sandpaper?
I mean, I could see him being into that.
Damn it. Damn it. Yeah. K. Charles Champ says a better world is possible if you know the pic than you know. I actually don't know the pic, but I'm Googling the pic, and I'm hoping that the FBI agent that spies on me isn't watching that I'm Googling whatever this pic is.
Are you live right now?
Yes.
Okay. Just make sure that window is not visible on your stream.
It is not. Okay, there's a there's a billion better world is possible pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, nope. I see it. I know which one it is. Okay. I see it's on a shirt. I think I know exactly which one they're talking about now. Okay. Yep.
Okay, I don't know what they're talking about in my chat, but apparently all of Musk's kids are from IVF. Which, that seems weird. I feel like a lot of his kids are like from people who, I don't know.
Why would all of it? Wait, hold on.
Because, well, okay, I can see from his perspective, he has been trying to like increase birth rates and like economically, he doesn't care. The fact that having kids is expensive doesn't matter to him because he's the richest fucking guy on the planet. Like, even like Tesla stocks crashed. He lost $100 billion in wealth in one day, and he's still the richest motherfucker on the planet. That, like, that in and of itself says that billionaires need to be taxed out of existence, because fuck that. If you lose $100 billion in net worth and are still the richest motherfucker on the planet, no, that's unnecessary. Nobody, like, just that $100 billion would be enough to solve world hunger.
Yeah.
And I know that that's not how it works. If he starts selling stocks, the value goes down, and so his net worth also goes down. So it's not like liquid assets, whatever. Who the fuck cares? Like, I get that.
He was able to bankroll an election. He was able to buy something that was effectively the public square for everybody to speak. Anybody who uses that argument is a disingenuous fuck.
Yeah,
because that's not how reality is. I understand that,
but he still has the power to do that. Apparently, everybody's saying he tried to get a penis enlargement surgery that got botched, so he actually can't father kids, so he has to do it through IVF.
That is way more funny than it has any right to be.
It is. That is fucking hilarious.
That is.
But also, like, the way I'm looking at it, the reason he has so many kids is because every few years he has to have another one to use as a human shield. So you see that the only time he spends quality time with his kids is when all the cameras are on and like, oh, there might be like some danger to me, so I will have my kid in between me and the public. But,
that's awful, but also not unlikely.
That's the way I see it. That's the way it looks to me.
I can understand that perspective, and I am very tempted to agree. Because, yeah, no, the fact that, all right, I'm gonna be in the president's office with the president. My kid's gonna say all kinds of really strange things to Trump.
So for 24 bits, Bravo Needs Bacon says, I owe you a drink of your choice. That made me scream laugh. So thank you for that. I'm not sure if 24 bits is enough for 12-year-old McAllen, but I'll drink nonetheless.
Figure out if it works.
You know what? I got it free from my dad, so 24 bits is enough.
Fair enough. No complaints there, I suppose.
No, I'm feeling the need to share another Smooth Dunk comic. So just a moment.
Why, whatever brought on this need?
Talking about Musk using his kid as a
human shield.
As a human shield. Dun, dun, dun. This is my stream now. Just me saving Smooth Dunk comics. Nope, I don't need to do that. All right. Add image. Do not make source visible so I can resize it before you guys see it. Stream assets. Where did I say it? There it is. Okay. Boop. And boop. So it's Elon Musk's kid saying hug, hug, while Musk is ignoring him so that he can tweet. And then there's a news article saying Elon Musk reveals he has been receiving lots of death threats for Doge progress. And then it goes to the song Just the Two of Us playing while he has his kid strapped to him in all sorts of different positions.
Yep. It's very hard to make any argument that that's not what he's doing.
Yeah. That's what it looks like. So yeah, but that's basically what we need to know about this news story, is that Musk is trying to drive Media Matters out of business by suing them all over the world, which makes it very expensive for them to defend themselves. And so they're suing him back, being like, hey, his own platform says if you're going to sue, you have to do it in this district court in the United States, so make him drop all the other stuff. So they're just asking him to enforce his own contract.
If you need to be safe from that stuff, you'll need a good lawyer. You might even need a great lawyer.
Oh my God.
Something about the Legal team.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, like, I've been watching Legal Eagle, so I'm like, my next, and you know what? I fucking hate ground news at this point. Like, yeah, no, their ads, and I know this as someone who has received money from them, who has been paid to advertise them, as someone who actually uses their fucking service.
Yeah,
I fucking hate the ads. Because one of the requirements that they have is that you have to try and integrate it into the video as if it is a part of the video. You're not allowed to just be like, and now a word from our sponsor. You have to flow into the ad as though it's still part of the video. And so now and they're so prolific now among all these different creators that, like, I'm watching videos on, like, legal stuff that's happening and or news stuff that's happening, and like current event stuff, and I'm just like, anytime somebody starts to talk about how difficult it is to parse anything out, I'm just now like, oh no, here comes the ground news ad. Oh my God, no, fuck. And 9 times out of 10, it's not even an ad. It's just, I'm now so primed for it. And that's probably what they're going for, because now you know their fucking name.
Yeah.
And oh my God.
If it's not ground news for me, it's probably ground news for you.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. I hate it. And like, I hated that requirement. That's one of the reasons I don't have a spot with them anymore, is because the requirements that like the hoops that they make you jump through to get the money from them is just like, no, I don't want to do it. I like, if I'm reading an ad, I want it to be clear that this is an ad. I don't want to deceive my audience into watching an ad. Like, I want to be upfront about that. Like, I get that some people are going to skip. Most people are going to skip it. I skip it when other YouTubers do it.
And that is why you need to be able to know what's going on both sides. Because after all, after this crash out from Rhino was reported on CNN, it was treated this way. But Fox News said that he looked kind of like a soy boy cock.
Yeah, so to get both sides of the story, go to Ground fucking News. And here's the thing. They sponsored me when they were brand new. Nobody had heard of them. Nobody knew what they were doing. I was one of their first fucking content creators that they sponsored. Like, I think there was only one before me. I was the second one.
Yeah.
And now they're all over the fucking place, and I'm kind of proud of that. And it's like, yeah, I played a little tiny role in that. But at the same time, it's just like, no, don't be fucking douchebags about it, you assholes.
I can understand that. They haven't reached out to me, so.
They're also a Canadian company. Like, their offices are literally like an hour and a half drive from my house. So.
Fair. So just go over to their office and be like, you motherfuckers. Listen to me now.
What's hilarious about this, though, is that, like, Paul of Paulogia, he got a sponsorship from them, but, like, he's so good at it that he was able to kind of dick them around and be like, oh, because, like, he the first sponsorship he did with them, he basically made the whole video about it, but, like, he did it in a way that was actually, like, it matched his normal style, and it was fine, and it was great. Like, it was still a good video, but basically the whole video was a ground news ad. And they still tried to, like, make him do different things or whatever. And he basically shot back to them and was like, okay, look at the performance from my first ad with you. Just let me do my thing.
I know what I'm doing.
And then they were like, okay, I suppose.
Fair. That is, I guess, even if Paulogia is dealing with that level of bullshit.
Yeah, no, but
Then I can understand
he
the
actually fought
frustration.
back. I'm just impatient. So like I don't have the capacity to deal with that shit. So I'm just like, no, fuck you. I'm just like, I'll finish my contract and then I'm done.
To be fair, he's also a little more used to moving around a professional media environment
Yeah.
with all of the different hoops you have to jump through in order to make everybody happy in that environment.
Yeah.
Like that is very
That's his
much,
background.
yeah, that is very much within his area of expertise. So I can understand him, not to take away from the ability and accomplishment, but I can understand him having that skill set as just something he can just grab immediately and go, all right, no, this is how it's going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the skill set I just don't have. I'm the reason I'm self-employed is because I'm a dick that nobody can work with.
I mean, you and
Like,
me both.
My Surfshark sponsorship is so long running because they just let me do my own thing for the most part.
That's the same reason that I have a thing with DDLG Playground. It was quite literally, as long as I am not a disparaging asshole towards them, I can do my thing.
That's the thing, is because Surfshark is a VPN, and VPN companies are notorious for, like, you know, people who use VPNs up until fairly recently have been kind of sketchy people in general. So the VPNs have kind of embraced that and been like, yeah, no, you can advertise kind of sketchily with us. I mean, like, my last ad was a bit of a debacle. Is I don't know who to blame for this. I don't know if it was my rep or if it was Surfshark the company, or like, I don't know what happened, but something happened where they were not like, the first time in like 7 years my Friday video was late. It was only late by a few hours, but it was late. And it was because Surfshark had not approved the ad yet. Now, what normally happens is I send the ad for approval, and then they send me back feedback. Like, they either give me feedback, and it's very specific, like, at this timestamp, you use the wrong asset, so use this asset instead. Sure, fine, I'll do that. And it was the same thing here, but this time, like, normally they just say, make these changes, and then you're good. And they don't need to review it a second time. But this time, they were like, okay, make these changes, and then send me the link again, and we'll review it again. But they didn't review it on time. And so I was actually, and my rep had just changed, like, in the past month. Like, my normal rep, like, it's someone who doesn't work for Surfshark. They work for some marketing company that Surfshark hires to find YouTubers to advertise with. I don't exactly know how that end of it works. So I don't know whether this was a fuck up on the rep's end or on Surfshark's end, but that, like, it wasn't approved on time. And so I actually had to, like, I was emailing him on Friday morning and be like, hey, this is the first time my video has been late in years because you guys haven't approved the ad yet. Like, can I just publish already? And they were like, okay, well, no, just cut the ad out and then publish, and then we will approve the ad for the next one. Like, fine, whatever. But, like, that's the biggest hiccup I've ever had with Surfshark. And I forget why I was even bringing that up, but
Because of the ground news stuff.
yeah.
We were talking about ground news advertisements because as we were talking about Musk being sued because of him suing multiple people, or one person multiple times, I jokingly went into a Legal Eagle ad read.
Oh, right. And then that set me off because of
the ground news ad read, because you saw ground news while watching Legal Eagle.
That's the thing, is like, okay, I can't, the reason Surfshark is the one that I work with the most often. Like, there are others that, like, if they came back to me, I'd say yes, but, like, I'm just not good at promoting things, even if you pay me for it. Like, it like, even though, like, Surfshark is a product that I use it personally. And when I say that the Clean Web 2.0 thing is what I consider to be the main feature, not the VPN, that is true. I use the VPN when I'm connected to public Wi-Fi. Most of the time, I don't use it. But I use the Clean Web thing all the damn time. So, like, that's the joke that I make, is that, like, I think Clean Web 2.0 is their main feature, but they seem to think it's a VPN. And so that works for me. But like other companies of stuff that like I don't take ads from companies that are selling things that I would not use.
Mm-hmm.
It's like established titles. When I did that, I actually did purchase a plot of land or whatever, and then it turned out to be kind of scammy. I would say it wasn't actually a scam, but it was close enough to being a scam that like I actually pulled the ad out of that video.
It's close enough to make you feel skeezy.
Yeah. So I pulled the ad out of the video. That was actually the thing that made me hire someone to vet the companies for me. It was like, okay, I can't like, you know, depending on how many offers you get, but like I get regular offers that I turn down specifically because it's either not a product that I would use or just because like, even if it is a product that I would use, it just feels wrong to be saying these things about like they want me to say things about their product that are not actually true. Like they're embellishing. And so like even for the VPN, I don't focus on like oh, it encrypts your data so you're secure from everything. Like yeah, I do mention that like yeah, your ISP can't snoop on you when you're using a VPN, but like that's not the main reason to use a VPN. The main reason to use a VPN is so you can get like libraries from other countries.
Yeah, most people who are using a VPN to block their search history
it's for downloading. It's for pirating movies, for the most part.
Yeah,
you pirate if you're connected to a VPN when you pirate movies. You're not going to get that letter from your ISP saying stop pirating movies, otherwise we'll cut you off. Like,
yeah,
that's the main thing.
Which none of us have gotten before.
I've gotten that before. No, I mean I've never pirated movies. What are you talking about?
I have both never pirated a movie and also never gotten that letter.
Yeah. So yeah, I try to avoid the security features of VPN because it's not really that important for VPN wise. It's more about like, hey, Pornhub is blocked in this state, so connect to a VPN from another state, and now you have Pornhub again.
Which, you know, I had not even thought about that. I knew that was a thing that was happening, but it didn't occur to me until I did a trip to Tennessee and I tried going on Pornhub. And Tennessee is one of the states where it just says, hey, by the way, you need to talk to your representative.
Is that the video from Cherry DeVille?
Huh?
Cherry DeVille is the name of the porn star who did that video for Pornhub.
I haven't seen the video. I just clicked.
Okay.
So I
they
don't
might have
watch
changed
that.
it since I did that ad, but
I didn't even know there was a video there. I read it because it was there on my phone.
On your phone? My God, are you one of those people that watches porn on your phone? I don't get that. I want the big screen, man.
It's a screen.
Give me the big screen. I want to see everything on the big HD.
I mean, I definitely use the big screen I definitely use the big screen when I'm at home, but I wasn't at home. Like, and I didn't want to just go, all right, let me turn on my phone. Let me turn on my hotspot. Let me turn on my laptop. Let me go through all this shit when I just open up the phone. I am a kid who grew up on a Game Boy, okay? I can handle a small screen.
Okay. That's, I don't know. That's, maybe for me, it's weird. Like, for me, it's actually kind of a focus thing. I don't know if this is an ADHD thing, but like the post-nut clarity helps me write my scripts. So like there have been times when I'm like struggling to write a script and I'm like just not feeling it. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have a quick wank, and now I can write my script.
I have a similar issue when like, I'm getting ready to do my YouTube videos about magic.
So I'm here with my it's not 4K. I think it's 2K. I don't know. My monitors are high resolution or whatever, so I'm like, I wouldn't dream of watching porn on my phone. It's so small. Heidi actually, I've advocated for this in the past, so I'm not sure why it was a surprise to her, but like I follow. There's only one person that I have actually like kept a subscription to on OnlyFans, like recurring. Most of the time it'll be like the way I decide whether or not to like support someone on OnlyFans is like, hey, I have noticed you in multiple videos that I have finished too. So like you have helped me out a little bit. The least I can do is subscribe to your OnlyFans for like a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I'll do or whatever. So when she found out that there's actually one person that the reason I keep her subscription active on OnlyFans is because, the common thing is like, you subscribe on OnlyFans, so we'll give you these little snippets, but then if you tip me, you get the better video.
Yeah.
And so this person doesn't do that. She's just like, no, for $12 a month, you just get everything. And so I'm like, okay, I respect that. So I will keep your subscription active and on auto renew. And when my partner found out about that, she thought it was hilarious. She's like, I didn't know that you did that. I didn't know you had like OnlyFans subscriptions other than me, which she has a foot thing on OnlyFans. So if you're into feet, I probably shouldn't be promoting this from my YouTube because she's also a therapist and that might cause issues. But Lilith CEA in the second one is her OnlyFans.
I don't have a subscription to my girlfriend's OnlyFans because she doesn't have a subscription model.
So if you're into feet, Lilith C on OnlyFans is what you look for there. 'Cause apparently she has really nice feet, but I'm not into feet, so I don't know. That's the funny thing about it. Like being on the back end of this is just like neither of us are into feet. We just know that some people are. So we're both like, oh, those are kind of gross, but some people tell me they like those pictures. Okay.
Some people are weird.
Yeah.
Some people are weird. I have had...
No, most people are weird because apparently... Oh, I forget what it is, but there's like the brain area that is related. Like there's something related to feet in the brain that is like really, really close to the sex area of the brain.
Okay.
And so like there's like this minor little tweak that can happen in the brain that will like make those two regions react to the same things or whatever. So that's why foot fetishes are so common. I'm not explaining this properly, but
yes, the synapse in one fires and suddenly
I know what you're talking about, but I cannot remember what it's called. Yeah, me too, man.
Look, I have had the experience of being on my girlfriend's OnlyFans and definitely yanking it to her videos on OnlyFans and having her walk through the door, watching and just stare at me, looking at her.
That's the thing, like, so because
just going like,
because she has a foot page on OnlyFans, we have had a conversation where it's like, hey, at some point you might have to give me a foot job for your OnlyFans, like if this actually gets to be lucrative. And we're both like, oh, neither of us are into that. That's gonna be a weird thing to do. Like, but I think we could do it. Hey, as long as it feels good, I'm happy to do it. This ace person is completely tuning out of the sex convo. So here's the thing. I'm pan. So I'm straight-leaning pansexual. I'm attracted to the female form and typical femininity. But like my overall perspective is basically if somebody's touching my penis, it feels nice, so I don't care who's doing it.
Rhino says $20 is $20.
Yeah, basically.
Sylvie Snow says femboys, goddammit.
That's the thing. Like I like if it feels good, I don't care what, like I don't have to be attracted to you in order for you to make me feel good. Like touching my dick feels good no matter what you look like or what I'm attracted to or whatever. But that is kind of at odds with I'm kind of germophobic. So like feet to me are disgusting because they are the things that are touching the floor, that everything, like all the germs are on the floor. So like, why would you want the feet? And apparently people that are into foot fetishes actually like dirty feet.
See, that's the one I can't get.
Yeah.
That's like, the one I can't even fathom. Like I can get the feet thing and have done feet things before. I can understand it. I can get it. I have tried. But if there is no part of your fucking body that should be pressed up against another person unless you are both clean. I'm sorry. No. Mm-hmm. Absolutely fucking not.
Fresh out of the shower.
Like,
how did we get to feet anyway? It started with talking about Pornhub and VPNs and sponsors on YouTube.
Shay Wade says, I'm not a fan of sex in my porn. I know I'm the odd one out here. Look, I'm Demi. So porn gets a little weird to me because I have to have a bit of establishing so my brain can go, oh, there is some synaptic connection with this person on screen who 100% is faking everything they're doing. So oftentimes I'll end up just reading dojins instead because there is an establishing story and characters and all of that shit that my brain literally needs.
I just sent a link to my partner's OnlyFans, so if you want to see her feet, go for it. We're not exclusive enough that I'm going to get upset at you wanking it to her feet.
Oh, I have something to send to your WhatsApp. It is.
I almost don't want to know. If this conversation led to that, I'm not sure I want to know.
So, okay. So the video that I released today is about how there is an act of genocide in the United States towards trans people. Mm-hmm. And I backed up every single step with as best as I could, and got to the point where I said, hey, step 9 is the elimination of people. The last time I talked about this, I said we weren't on step 9, but then the Trevor Project released a study that showed that there was a 72% increase in trans suicides that was causative with trans legislation, anti-trans legislation that was coming out. So I said, hey, if you were a person who wanted to do what Nazi Germany did, but you wanted to learn the number one lesson you could have learned from Nazi Germany to do it better, you would make the genocide invisible. That's how you would do it. And how do you make a genocide
making it invisible when Texas is literally legislating trans people out of existence?
So I used that bit of legislation for a couple of the points, for polarization and stuff like that, dehumanization. But
if Twitch goes down, it's because apparently Twitch gets upset about OnlyFans links, and I did just send the link to both chats.
But with in regards
John
to
C.,
that,
I agree.
In regards to that, when it comes to words like genocide, like Nazi, like stuff, I try to be as thorough as I possibly can when using that word to describe something, to give every possible reason why that would. That legislation existing is not enough for me to go to step 9. That legislation existing is not enough, but the actual body count that has increased is enough for me to say step 9 is in the process. So, that preamble out of the way, this is a response to that video. And I did not reply to this person, but I almost hit the reply button and my better judgment took over. And there's a reason I'm sending it in private. and not anywhere else.
Fennec is asking, can I delete the message if needed? I feel like you won't know if it's needed to be deleted until the stream goes down, so don't worry about it. It's fine.
Context for everybody in the chat, the person responded to the video going, there isn't, and if there was, I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
and
fuck them.
And my comment that I did not hit was, then die, I guess.
Yeah.
But I did not hit that reply because I'm a better person.
My fez matches my jumper. My jumper says, my favorite child gave me this. Oh, no, it doesn't say what it is. It just says my favorite child gave me this. I don't remember which child gave me this, so they're all my favorite. Anyway, we should probably move on to our third news item. It is 10 o'clock when originally this show was supposed to end.
Look, we started talking about all kinds of stuff outside of the show, and you know what? I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, Piper, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for this one, Piper.
Oh, I'm just not sending this one to Cherry. I'm just not doing that. I'm just not putting Cherry through this one. I'm just going to be like, hey, there was a tweets section, and that's all we got to with Rhino. That's all we did. Don't worry.
Oh, so I've kind of stopped doing it recently, but when I first hired Piper, there were a few times where it's like, I talk about my personal sex life in this one. If you don't want to, if you're not comfortable with that, it's fine. I'll edit it. You don't need to. It's good. You just tell me if you're ever uncomfortable with anything. Because like, I'm just so aware of like I don't want to be canceled for like, hey, this person that's on my payroll has to listen to me talk about sex.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so that's the standing thing, Piper. If I ever make you uncomfortable, you let me know right away, and I will take that shit off your plate. Because, like, I don't ever want to make someone uncomfortable with my sex. Like, regular viewers, I get it. If I make you uncomfortable, you just click off the video. It's fine. But someone that I'm paying to edit this stuff, it's like, that's a bit yikesy if I'm making you uncomfortable by my talking about this. And now you still have to edit it anyway. So, like, I've regularly done stuff like, if you're uncomfortable, don't do it. And they've always been fine with it, but it's like, I just want to make sure everybody knows, like, Piper in particular, if you are ever uncomfortable with something that I send to you, you just tell me. Be like, no, I'm not doing this one, and it's good. I will never retaliate for like, hey, you talked about your personal sex life and that made me feel icky. Anyway, back to news items.
How the fuck is the video talking about genocide at 35,000 views? It was at 25,000 when I sent that message to you.
Fuck. Okay, so the reason I'm doing Matt Powell this Friday is because Matt Powell is good for the algorithm.
Wait, hold on. He's gay now?
Yes, with me.
Cool.
We had sex. Me and Matt Powell had sex.
That was the exact moment I hit the record button. Huh. That was perfect timing. If this is the salvageable video
so I can put it on my soundboard.
If this is the salvageable video that I wouldn't feel bad sending to Sherry, then that is a perfect meme to keep forever. Anyway,
you know what? I'm pansexual. I would have sex with Matt Powell if he agreed to stop being a creationist. Matt, if you want me to suck your dick, you know what you got to do. Just stop being a creationist.
This is what you got to do to get Rhino's mouth pussy.
I will do it. I will do it, Matt. That's not a joke. Anyway, what the fuck were we saying?
I don't know anymore. It has nothing to do with the boy heroes and military first things.
Right, so I have a Matt Powell video coming out this Friday, and the reason it's Matt Powell is because he's good for the algorithm, and I've been not doing great in the algorithm right now. Now, to be fair, this is a bad time of year for my YouTube in general. Like, February to June just kind of sucks normally. So it's not anything outside of the ordinary, but, like, I'm kind of playing around with, like, okay, well, people usually watch when I respond to these people, so I'm going to respond to these people in the slump period.
See if you can get it.
Yeah. And I also do stuff like drop my fucking microphone in the river while I'm looking for a dry riverbed that isn't dry this time of year because what the fuck? I didn't Google it before going there, apparently.
Hey, everybody makes mistakes, okay? My parents, they made me.
Fair enough. So Heidi has she's been buying a lot of potted plants, and just as a joke, and we would never say this in front of the children, but she does refer to the plants as the kids that she actually loves.
Okay.
Our kids have been nasty little shits recently.
You little shit.
They have been nasty little shits recently.
I've been watching a lot of Dungeon.
They're kids. It's nothing outside of the ordinary, but like, we're parents. Occasionally we need to joke about our kids being nasty little shits. So
I've been watching a lot of Dungeon Soup, so all I hear whenever you say that is little shit.
Okay.
Hello, hi.
Anyway, so the military has banned a bunch of stuff from their website based on DEI stuff.
Cut your hair?
Is Saki in the room? Hi, Saki.
Saki like plopped up next to me in that stalker at the bar way. Hi, hon. How you doing?
I mean, that's fine. I would love it if my partner came in and stalked me a little bit. But she's busy like doom scrolling TikTok or something.
Was the salad good though? Good.
So your chicken sucked, but the salad was okay?
I mean, the chicken was good too, right? Okay. The whole salad was good. Rhino was just like, so your chicken sucked, but the salad was okay. No, I know how to pan-sear chicken.
Yeah, but when you run out of propane in the middle, that kind of screws stuff up.
The ranch and chili oil was pretty good.
I had some bacon grease in the pan still, and that helped a lot.
That's cheating. Bacon grease is cheating.
How is it cheating?
Because it's bacon grease. Everybody loves bacon.
Look, my mom got us some bacon a few days ago, and we've been using it for breakfast, but we didn't realize it was unsalted bacon, like unsalted, uncured.
How do you do unsalted bacon?
Good question.
That's not bacon. It's not bacon if there's no salt.
Yeah, but
that's just pork.
It looks like bacon. It cooks like bacon. Everything about it, but it was in an unlabeled plastic bag.
It's not bacon.
So we've just had to salt that with Creole, but as a result, I just have a lot of bacon fat that is usable for other recipes.
Okay. Anyway, war heroes and military firsts are among 26,000 images flagged for removal in Pentagon's DEI purge. I should probably get back to the news at some point in our news show.
Probably.
So references to a World War II Medal of Honor recipient, the Enola Gay aircraft that dropped an atomic bomb on Japan, and the first 2 women to pass Marine infantry training are among the tens of thousands of photos and online posts marked for deletion as the Defense Department works to purge diversity, equity, and inclusion content, according to the database obtained by the Associated Press.
Wait, is it getting rid of the aircraft because it's called the Enola Gay?
Yeah, because gay is a DEI word. That's diversity because it's gay.
The Control F, because this happened with the fucking with Stonewall, the park. Mm-hmm. The Control F version of taking care of business, as it were, is the stupidest shit on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's like some 26,000 images that have been flagged for removal across all the military branches, based on things like they contain the word gay or woman.
It's all DEI. It's not our military history. It's DEI.
Mm-hmm.
All of it's DEI.
Yeah, okay. So they're estimating that the purge could delete as many as 100,000 images or posts in total, when considering media pages and other websites that are also being called for DEI content.
I hate everything about my country right now. Mm-hmm. Like there's very few things that I would consider redeeming qualities about America at this moment. But here we are. Here we are.
Yep.
This timeline needs pruning. I agree.
Yeah, where's the fucking TVA when you need it?
Yep. Let's see here. Fragwitz says, please never turn fascist, Cirrus. I hope I never go down that route. I am hoping that is a thing that never happens to me.
I think both of us are more at risk for being arrested and sent to a concentration camp for being anti-fascist.
Very likely.
Anything. Like we have definitely skirted the line of stochastic terrorism against fascism.
A couple of times, at the very least.
A couple of times, yeah. No. What's hilarious, though, is I don't know why, but YouTube kind of trusts my self-report for monetization stuff.
Okay.
So, like, I can... Like, whereas other channels will like be like, oh no, don't mention vaccines because like the very mention of vaccines could get us demonetized. I'm just like, nah, I just tell them that like, yeah, I talked about disinformation and it's fine. Like, I mean, our streams regularly get demonetized, but the little chunks of the streams are always like fully monetized, and it's weird to me. It's just fucking weird.
I mean, the same shit happens with mine. Though, to be fair, Cherry handles my uploading now. So I'm not 100% certain if we struggle too terribly much. The only thing that I've had happen recently was Disney blocking a video of mine in basically every country.
Disney will
But-
do that when they can. What did you use some of their content?
So I was looking at their old World War II propaganda, and a lot of that stuff is supposed to make it into the public sphere in a few years, unless Disney fights for it. But they didn't do that with Steamboat Willie finally, so who knows? But it was close enough to the time that it is still considered theirs, so they hit me for it.
Well, I mean, speaking of Steamboat Willie, what movie was it that I watched recently? God damn it. It was one of those old black and white. Oh yeah, the Charlie Chaplin, the Great Dictator. I think that's in the public domain. You can watch it for free on YouTube. I don't know if it's legal or not, but it's fine. And it struck me as like being too on the nose for the relationship between Musk and Trump. Because there's a whole sequence where someone resubscribed. Duct Tape Jake resubscribed 10 months. Thank you, Duct Tape Jake. There's a whole sequence where like clearly there's the Hitler analog and there's the Mussolini analog. And when the Mussolini analog shows up, it becomes very much a commentary on the Hitler and Musk dynamic, which is amazing because it was written before. Oh, sorry. Did I say Hitler and Musk? I meant Trump.
You said
and Musk.
Hitler and Musk.
Whoopsies.
Oh man, that reminds me. So somebody in my comment section got they went on a tirade saying that Nazis aren't fascists because all fascists hate Nazis.
And
all Nazis hate fascists. And I'm just
works.
like, what?
Yeah, so The Great Dictator, I finally watched the whole thing. As a movie, I don't think it's great. In past streams I've said how like I don't understand how that speech that he gives, like the famous speech that Charlie Chaplin gives, I don't see how that could come out of a comedy movie. And it does just kind of come just out of left field. Nobody, like, there's no setup for that actually makes it make sense.
I've never seen it, so I actually don't have context.
It is good. I mean, it's Charlie Chaplin. You like the character that gives the speech at the end has almost no spoken lines throughout the rest of the movie. It just comes out of nowhere. Like, it is not established that he's actually good with words. It's kind like the opposite is kind of established because everybody's talking over him all the time. But it does, like, the dictator in that movie and his relation to the Mussolini character does very much resemble the Musk-Trump dynamic. And it's fucking hilarious. Just, like, it's hilarious in the sense of how much it represents what's going on in modern politics, but it was written in the 1940s. Although also, I think Tolkien might have stolen from it, because there were a lot of things that, like, as he was doing that, I was like, hey, that's the thing that I remember from Lord of the Rings. Like, oh, this came out well before that showed up in Lord of the Rings. Okay.
Spooky.
So Tolkien might have been influenced by it. Who knows?
Well, if it's in the public domain, I think it's definitely something that we should probably watch on stream.
Mean, it was vague enough. Like, it's the whole thing. Like, oh, look at that star! Isn't that star beautiful? Well, Hitler could never do anything to that star. Like, so long after Hitler's gone, that star will still be there, be beautiful or whatever. And that is something that shows up explicitly in Lord of the Rings. But like, The Great Dictator was written like 17 years-ish before Lord of the Rings. So I don't know that Tolkien was inspired by The Great Dictator, but like, maybe that was just, like, it's a generic enough thing that, like, maybe not.
Who knows? Who knows?
Anyway, back to our story. The vast majority of the Pentagon purge targets women and minorities, including notable milestones made in the military. And it also removes a large number of posts that mention various commemorative months, such as those for black and Hispanic people and women. This is why I don't drink during stream anymore. I can't speak.
You can't speak?
I'm slurring.
You are?
A little bit.
Slurring.
Just a bit. Just a touch. And, yeah, so the Enola Gay has been flagged for removal, which, you know, dropped the bomb on Hiroshima.
Because it says gay.
Mm-hmm.
Can't let those queers have anything.
Yep, there was a dredging project in California that was marked for deletion because one of the engineers had the last name Gay.
Fucking what?
Well, I mean,
Do they not see how cartoonish this is?
It is. It's stupid.
Jesus.
So, Lord of the Rings was published 3 years before Great Dictator was filmed and released. I don't remember the exact years, but I actually looked it up when it got to the line about the stars, because I'm like, hey, that's very Lord of the Rings-esque, and I seem to recall it being like a decade. Like Great Dictator was like a decade before Lord of the Rings. Like maybe not The Hobbit.
Let's see. Lord of the Rings, originally published 1954.
Yeah, and Great Dictator was like 1940.
Yeah, Great Dictator's a 1940 film. This is 14 years before.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, Tolkien was definitely working on Lord of the Rings at the time. Lord of the Rings came out in 37. Where are you getting 37 from? Okay. Now I need to look this up.
The Hobbit came out in September 21, 1937. Fellowship of the Ring is 1954.
Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. Nope, that's the movie.
While you're doing that, I need to figure out what my dogs are barking at. They are having a field day.
Go for it. I don't want... Okay, let's go back. Go on IMDb. Fellowship of the Ring. First edition was published in July 29th of 1954. So, yeah, that is 14 years after The Great Dictator. And it was Return of the King that the star thing happened in. So it was like a couple years later, I think. But yeah, anyway, the Trump administration has been saying in the interest of fighting against DEI, we're going to remove a bunch of shit from military websites, including things that reference like just anything that has the word gay or woman or anything like that attached to it. So the Enola Gay has been taken down. Well, it's still up, but it's supposed to be taken down. Fennec says, I'm incredibly sleepy and very annoyed. Yeah, I've been drinking the Macallan, so I'm getting sleepy as well. Just waiting for Sirs to come back to carry the show, as usual. Hobbit came out in 1937. Yeah. I'm waiting for Sirs to come back before we move on to the next news item. Because the next news item is kind of funny. Okay, I'm putting the bottle of scotch over here. I've had enough. I can feel it. It's good. The annoyance is I cannot find a swim cap that meets my personal needs and isn't $60 US. Well, if you Oh, Van Briggs redeemed a hydrate. Thank you, Van Briggs. If you send me whatever the bits equivalent is of $50, I will find you a cheaper sim crap for you. Oh, hats as well, Van Briggs. Come on. Give me a break. Gay Unicorn Gary bucket hat. Available at merch.vicerhino.com. Also, money would be nice because my kids like to eat. Holy fuck do they like to eat. They eat so much fucking food. These fucking kids. Like, we actually have to lock the snack cupboard. Because at least one of them steals snacks. And it's annoying as fuck. Like, we'll go to pack their lunches for them. And like, oh, we don't have any fucking food. Because this kid has eaten it all. Okay. Clueless Expert is giving started his hype train by gifting out community subs. So thank you for that, Clueless Expert.
It was pizza.
Pizza.
Somebody in my chat ordered pizza.
Ooh. I
have no idea who.
I could use some pizza right about now. I've had enough scotch that I'm ready for the pizza.
You've had enough scotch, you're ready for the pizza?
I have a hype train because somebody gifted a bunch of community subs. Clueless Expert gifted.
Hell yeah.
And Fennec is still looking for a swimming cap. Says, I can afford the $60 bucks. I just don't want to pay it. For context, I cover my head on a daily basis. For personal reasons, I need a head cover for swimming. So there we go. Okay.
I'm glad to know the world is fucked up enough that we have sloshed Rhino.
Slosh Rhino. Yep. I put my scotch over there, so I can't have any more. So I'm as slosh as I'm going to get.
Yep.
I will regret this tomorrow morning. I guarantee.
You will regret.
However, this is March break, so it's not like they need to get up at 6 a.m. like they normally do. So if I sleep in, it's fine. But yeah, thank you for... Oh, my God. Dark Falcon just gifted 5 watering hole memberships on YouTube. So, like, I don't think that counts towards the Twitch hype train, but yeah, we're getting some... We're running a train on something here.
Damn it.
I'll run a train on you for enough money.
Yeah, but enough money for Rhino is like $5.
I mean, fair, but you also have to come to me. I'm not going to you for $5.
I'm just saying, if you're not good enough for them to come to you in the first place, then why the fuck are you sexing them?
Just give me $5 and show up at my house. I'll suck your dick. Okay?
There you go.
That's how it goes. I'm a cheap hooker, okay?
All of this is going to get used against me when I run for office. You realize that, right?
I do. I'm sorry. It's me. It's not you. It's me. You are a respectable person. I don't know why you hang out with me because I'm such a fucking degenerate.
I'm not a respectable person. I'm sitting here in the French maid outfit.
Van Briggs says we're running a train on UVR. Okay, yeah, go for it. That sounds like fun. That'd be amazing.
Like, I don't know what you mean by respectable when I can do this.
Running a train on me sounds like I'm gonna come, so that's fine by me.
Jesus.
As long as I come, I'm happy. Anyway, did you hear about this? Pocan to introduce the Elon Musk Act to ban federal government contracts for special government employees. I don't think he's actually introduced this legislation yet, and that's kind of upsetting because this is a story from February 5th.
From back in February.
Yeah, so it's like, if you haven't... I searched for the bill on all the different bill tracking websites, and nothing came up. So I don't think this is an actual bill that's under consideration, but I wish it was. But it's called the Eliminate Looting of Our Nation by Mitigating Unethical State Kleptocracy, or Elon Musk Act.
Kleptocracy. I like that name.
Yeah. Fennec says, You won't hear the choo-choo, but you'll see the train. Love it.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, he said he plans to introduce this act. Other websites says that he has introduced it. However, the bill tracking websites say that he has not. I couldn't find any evidence that this is an actual bill. But I wish it was. It's like the idea here is that anyone... what is it? Let me just actually fucking read it because I'm too sloshed to say it from memory.
That's a good idea.
So no one should have the ability to direct funds toward their personal interest if they are working for the federal government. That's why we don't allow members of Congress or many other federal employees to receive federal contracts. Side note, they should also not be allowed to trade stocks, but that's a whole separate issue apparently. The same is even more true with a special government employee with a wide authority to direct federal expenses.
Expensive.
Shut up. Fuck you. My dad was getting rid of the Macallan 12 year for free, so I had to fucking take it, okay? Fuck you.
You didn't have to take anything.
It's not even that good whiskey because in this particular bottle, the cork like fell apart as I was opening, so it's probably got a little bit of fungus in there that's making it not great. But it still makes me slur the words.
Or it's adding to the flavor in a new and unique way.
Sure. So, like, basically this would be a ban on receiving federal contracts if you are a special government employee. Which would be amazing if Starlink and SpaceX and whatever other companies Musk has a controlling interest of just didn't have federal contracts. That would be great.
Would be, but we don't live in that world.
But as far as I can tell, this bill hasn't even been introduced. It's just like this guy has proposed it as a way of like gaining, I don't know, clout. But yeah, as far as I can tell, this isn't an actual bill, but I wish it was. And I wish you guys would actually vote on it.
I wish it was a real bill. That would be good.
Or Rhino's going to have a fun trip in the morning. No, I'm not going to feel good tomorrow morning. I guarantee that. However, it is spring break. No, not spring break. March break. It's March break right now, so my kids get to sleep in as well. Tomorrow's garbage day, though, so I hope they remember to take the garbage out, because that is their chore, and if they don't, I'm not going to be capable of it tomorrow.
Also, Rose Star, thank you for redeeming your points for... Oh, well, sorry I missed it when it happened. I think it was around the time I had to go get the pizza. Could be wrong, but...
Hey, I could use some food, and there's a link for that shows up occasionally.
There is a link for that. You could hit...
It's a fucking Baconator from Wendy's. That's the only thing that I bothered to add to the list.
If Rhino has set up
Not a single person has... Actually, you know what? Don't fucking do that, because it might still be set up to take it to my old address.
Then they just get a free Baconator.
So the people that fucking bought my house from me are just like, why is a Baconator here? I don't know.
I don't know. Eat it.
Okay. Whatever. Shall we move on to tweets?
Sure. Why don't we move on to tweets?
Because I'm sloshed, that's why.
Yeah, I'm not exactly certain if sloshed is the correct way to do this show.
I mean, it's been a while. I haven't... So, this bottle of scotch is the first alcohol that I've had in like a month and a half. It's one of those things where it's like, I have said that like, hey, I can stop anytime I want. Like, is that the kind of thing that an addict would say? But
Yes.
then I just did stop for a while. And then my dad was like, hey, I have free scotch. It's like, okay, I'm getting drunk again.
Yeah.
So yes, I am not addicted to alcohol. However, I am laying off for Twit tweets
not
for a
addicted to Alka Schmitz.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's mostly gone. It'll be done before the next Twit tweets, I guarantee you. That's the thing though, is that like I'm not addicted, but if it's in the house, I drink it. So it's one of those things where it's better for me to just not have it in the house. But like I said, my dad was getting rid of an expensive one, and I was like, okay, I'll take it. Anyway. We got a lot of Elon tweets. Oh, fuck. God damn it. There we go. So, Insurrection Barbie says, I hate to tell you, Democrats, but the economy will be just fine. I guess it's back to everybody's Hitler as a campaign strategy for 2026. To which Elon responded, the Democrat strategy really does default to everyone is Hitler. So the thing about that is, if you have actually given a Nazi salute from the national stage, it's not that you are Hitler, it's that you're a Nazi.
Oh, whoa.
And then Olivia says, time to make Rhino say to like the stream. So yeah, like the stream, or Olivia Williams will get mad at you.
Have I spent this entire time muted?
I don't know. Have you been muted this entire time?
Oh God, I think I might have been.
Maybe.
That would
but
explain.
Olivia says to like the stream. She's the only one that can say it. I can't say it myself. Unless she super chats me to say it. So like the stream, I guess.
Entirely fair. That is what somebody who is in need of $6.99 from Olivia would say.
Yeah.
Speaking of being desperate for things, mine is in channel points, so I don't get paid for that. Ninjas, thank you for giving your points for an wow. All of those.
Yeah.
Cinder says, no, you go. Okay, but no, y'all, I'm obviously not on mute on my stream. I have 3 separate mute buttons. I have a mute button for my mic, a mute button for my stream, and a mute button for Rhino.
Oh, the life of a content creator. Yeah, I'm similar situation over here. I can mute you anytime I want. I can mute me anytime I want, but I don't necessarily know the difference.
Clueless Expert says, how many gift subs until an uwu?
Oh, you can gift me like 1 fucking sub and I'll give you an uwu.
I just read it.
I'm cheap. Service is expensive. You come to me if you want the goods.
I just read it out loud. God, what is wrong with me? Fucking hell.
Uwu? Nobody even paid me for that. I did that for free. You guys owe me money now.
Apparently, I did it for free too. God.
Everybody owes me and Cirrus a sub.
God,
on Twitch.
Fucking damn it. Yeah, hold on. Let me do quick math here. So the YouTube side of this is not monetized yet, but the 72 viewers on Twitch, yes, all of you sub. That would be worth like a few kinks at least. I mean, different sub. Sorry.
I'll be your sub, Cirrus.
God damn it. I guess the answer to your question, Clueless Expert, is none.
Cirrus, I feel like we could make so much fucking money if we started an OnlyFans together.
I feel like that is also possible, but I do not have enough money to make that work.
I don't need any money to make that work.
I would need to pay
artists.
Just
say the word.
God damn it. An anonymous gifter has gifted out 5 subs, and Regios, thank you very much for gifting out a sub as well. I appreciate it.
Hey, my partner's okay with me sucking your dick. Is your partner okay with that?
She's okay with it, but I don't care for it.
Oh, someone, fuck, who we get? Regios gave out 5 community subs. Thank you, Regios. Regios001, sorry.
Regios did it over on my end, too.
Yeah,
good.
There we go.
Good shit. Gideon, thank you for resubscribing as well.
I guess we gotta suck each other's dicks or something.
That's not what that means.
Oh, is it not?
You're horny when you're sloshed.
Just when I'm sloshed? Come on, sir. Come on. I'm horny when I'm sober, man.
You're right. You're a rhino. That's your secret. You're always horny.
Just ask my partner. She knows. She knows what it's at. Okay, someone redeemed a hydrate because they care about my health. Thank you, Sean Helfen.
Stop caring about his health. Just let it happen. Look, rhinos like an egg. They have expiry dates.
Yeah, however, like an egg, the expiry date does not necessarily mean I stink at the end of it. You can still tolerate me. And I know that from experience because, like, when I was a teenager, I kept a package of eggs in my room for like a year with the intention of egging someone's house. I never actually got off the guts to do it. However, I did notice that like there wasn't a particularly nasty smell. And then I just chickened out and threw them in the garbage.
Howard.
Yeah, I mean,
Razor, thank you for gifting out a sub. And
realistically, it was
Chris,
because
thank you
like
as well.
teenage me was angry at teenage someone else, and it would have actually been adult parent of teenage someone else that would have had to clean it up. So it's probably best that I didn't. Okay, someone's got a hat. Okay, we're gonna go plant genitals on my head.
Plant genitals? Yay!
Okay,
Dirty Dave says Rhino's not like an egg because he's cheap.
Yeah. Okay. In Canada, eggs are still less than $4 a dozen, which is like $2.80 US.
Is a third the price we pay here right now. What the fuck?
So yeah. And
how?
You know, we actually still fund our our public health people that are worried about avian flu. So yeah. Your guy's just a fucking idiot.
I hate this. Ninjas, thank you for resubscribing. Rosestar, thank you for resubscribing as well.
I had French toast the other day, which is bread that is soaked in eggs.
I technically had Zaxby's for breakfast, but that was mostly because of a mistake I made.
I mean, I also have, like, my partner's kids in particular are really fucking picky. So, like, one of them will only have waffles for breakfast, and the other one will only have cereal.
The last breakfast I cooked was bacon, eggs, and waffles. Saki wanted the waffles covered in peanut butter and bananas, and mine was covered in sugar-free Nutella.
I mean,
they were delicious.
That sounds good.
They were fucking delicious.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, everyone is Hitler. But, like, everyone who does the Hitler salute is Hitler. So sure.
Ninjas, I hate this. Ninjas, thank you for subscribing. Taji, thank you for the 40 bits as well. I appreciate it.
So Elon Musk also said, in support of the policies of President Donald Trump and to demonstrate our confidence in the future of the United States, Tesla commits to doubling vehicle production within the U.S. within 2 years.
Is it? Did he say that because the stocks in Tesla
because the
dropped?
stock was down like 50% since December? Yeah. This is about when he tweeted that, when his stock was down 50% since December. Also, if you count the number of American flags that he's got there, do you know how many that is?
I'm just going to take a guess at 14. I'm not even going to count.
It is 14, yeah.
I was 14. Just going to take a guess that it was 14.
So anytime, so he regularly does like 2 or 3 American flags, but anytime there's a long string of them, it's always 14. Weird how it's always 14. So for those who might not be familiar, that's a reference to the 14 words, which is a fascist thing. So, like, yes, not that everyone who don't like is a Nazi. It's that those who are explicitly espousing Nazi things are Nazis.
Haji, thank you for the gifted sub. Aether88, thank you for the gifted sub as well. Jesus Christ, you guys are just trying to keep the hype train going. I appreciate it, but also, holy fuck.
My hype train's not going. Somebody make my hype train keep going.
As for
I'll
the
suck
14
Cyrus's
words,
dick if you make my hype train go.
You've already done that in fan art. At least I think that happened in fan art. So
I don't know if I've sucked it, but there's been something between me and your dick in fan art.
For those who may not know, just because there is a chance people are coming here from the recent video and might not. God damn it. And might not actually know what the 14 words are. The 14 words are, we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children.
Yeah,
it was a slogan
anytime
coined
Elon
by
Musk
David
is complaining
Lane.
about how white people don't have enough babies, it's a reference to the 14 words.
Yeah, David Lane wrote those, and he was one of the most prolific members of a group known as The Order. The Order was a giant white supremacist group.
5 gift subs to the community. Thank you for that.
Rose Star, thank you for gifting a sub as well. I appreciate it.
It's my side that needs the hype train.
Wait, didn't you have a hype train a little earlier? Aren't you in
Maybe.
cooldown mode?
Yeah, but it doesn't
Well-
it doesn't keep going unless people keep giving subs.
Yeah, but if it's already ended, it can't start again because it's in cooldown mode.
Shh, I need my hypes.
I mean,
my hypes.
definitely more
We
people
both
can
need
try.
money. Give us both money.
Gideon Wells and Regios both thank you for resubscribing as well and getting us to level 3
I
on
have
hype
kids.
train.
My kids want to eat. Sirs
Not
doesn't
David-
have kids.
Not David Blaine, David Lane. And I do have a girlfriend who can't really work, so there is that. That's not the same thing as a kid.
I have a
but
partner who can't work until she graduates from college.
That's different than disabilities, but I understand.
She might have accidentally gotten a job as a yoga teacher.
Razor Storm says 14 words usually also comes with 88. In modern parlance, yes, it's usually 1488. The 14 words and then 88 for Heil Hitler. But
Here's the thing. I actually searched Elon's Twitter feed for the American flag. And he either does it in 2s or 3s or 14s.
Jesus fucking Christ,
There's
Hellbound
nothing else.
Hillbilly and
It's
Ninjas, thank you for
always
the subs.
14s. It's always 14.
I would consider that a little yikesy.
You can say oh, he's just trying to troll the people who will look for that kind of thing, but at this point, after he's given the fucking Hitler salute to the fascist regime, can you still say it's trolling when he does 14 of anything?
I would just say with maximum confidence, anybody who doesn't know what Poe's law is should probably get familiarized with Poe's law when they try to argue for that. So again, for those who might not know, just because some people might not, Poe's law.
Kotani says, so is Rhino denouncing the pregnant Cirrus?
I don't think he's denouncing it.
So
I think he wants to be the cause
in that
of
specific fan art, I explicitly say that I am not the father. Just saying.
Again, I'm fairly certain that it's more that you want to be the cause of it, but that's,
I like it when
anyway,
people do fan art that you don't like.
God fucking damn it. Where was I?
I
God
don't
damn
know.
it.
Something about 14 words.
It was not the 14 words. It was the other thing, not 88.
ADHD?
I said first. ADHD is the problem right now. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm looking for the solution, not the final solution. That's what
Solution
Nazis
is
look for.
Adderall. Sorry, you can't get that. You're in the States.
I have the opportunity to try now. Poe's law. There we go. Okay. So for those who don't know what Poe's law is the concept that the closer you get to extremism, the harder it is to differentiate it from parody. So a Poe is generally somebody who is trying to parody an extremist group. The problem with being a Poe, especially when you are a Poe of Elon Musk's size, because there is no way to tell the difference between parody and an actual true blue believer of something at that stage, you do just as... I just bit my fucking tongue. You do just as much trolling of the left as you do signaling for the right. You don't have to truly be a Nazi. The point of criticizing Elon Musk doing this is not to say in his heart of hearts he's a Nazi. I don't give a fuck what's in his heart of hearts as long as it's devoid of blood in the next few days. I don't give a shit what's in his actual heart of hearts. I care about the material effect of the things that he says and the things that he does. I'm a pragmatist. I care about usefulness. I don't give a fuck what he thinks. I give a fuck what happens as a result of what he
Usefulness,
says.
but it would be if someone was extremely brave. And I'm not going to elaborate on that.
God, I love
Luigi,
Mario.
we love you.
Jesus Christ.
Less Than Lucid says, but I thought Rhino was snipped. Yes, I was snipped. However, the fan art does not agree.
Less Than Lucid, you may not understand this, but on the internet, there is nothing that saves you from mpreg.
Nope.
Not even in the slightest.
Well, you know what? I don't think you've ever impregnated me in mpreg stuff.
God fucking damn
It's
it.
been the other way around, but I don't think you've ever gotten me. So
Darren Ambassador says, no matter how ridiculous the position, there is someone who will genuinely espouse it. Yeah. That's like
that's Poe's law.
if you pretend to be a flat earther, you are a lightning rod that will attract other flat earthers. You may find somebody on the fence who will find whatever argument you're giving as a Poe flat earther convincing enough to jump onto your, not really your, but your fake side of the fence. And now, by being a jokester, by being a Poe, you've caused real, measurable damage.
Mm-hmm. That's why, as tempting as it is to go right wing for the grift, I just can't do it because that's actually harmful. Like, I could make a lot of money if I suddenly converted to Christianity. But that would be harmful to society, so I'm not going to do it. Sometimes it sucks having a conscience, you know? I wish I could just be a fucking bad guy.
I understand the feeling. I understand the feeling.
Anyway, next up we get Elon Musk saying, "Oh, it's so traumatic to answer an email," referring to the list 5 things you did email thing, which
it is traumatic to be told that your livelihood is going to be gutted away from you if you don't do everything that a fascistic organization or administration is trying to get you to do. When they're basically saying, when your boss has gone from make sure that your tasks are done and everything's Gucci to, "Hey there, buddy, how you doing? I need you to tell me in 5 words what value you brought to the company today." Just asking. That's all.
Knowing a couple people who do work for the federal government, I can say that like the email was so much more than just like, "Oh no, it's traumatic to answer an email." It's more about like, how much am I allowed to tell them? Does the fact that Elon Musk has been posting on Twitter that like anyone who doesn't answer the email is automatically fired, like that's counted as a resignation? Like, is that actually true? Like, I don't fucking know. Like, that is concerning in the very least. And then there's the added complication of like, the work that I do is classified. Can I send classified information to an unsecured, or like, we don't know how they're securing it, opm.gov email address? Like, we don't know what's going on here. Do I even need, like, does he actually have the authority to fire me, or does he not? We don't know. Nobody fucking knows. Like, it's not about like, "Oh, it's so traumatic to answer an email." It's about the implications that come along with that email.
This is also Elon Musk, and I'm going to say the word that a long time ago would have gotten me dismissed immediately by a certain subsect of people on the internet. So Elon's coming from a position of privilege. He's been privileged enough to never have to worry where his next meal is coming from. He's been privileged enough to never have to be concerned about that. So from my perspective, I was incredibly happy getting that pizza, because as of right now, I've got a little bit of money from my birthday in cash, and then $30 in my bank account, and that's just what I've got until I get paid because of a muck up I had on Patreon. So I am also behind on bills. So getting a meal sent to me, it's huge. It's a big thing for me. That's, oh shit, I don't have to prepare this with stuff I've got. That saves me spoons. That saves me time. That saves me money that, quite frankly, at the moment, I don't really have. That's not a thought that has ever crossed Elon's mind. So, put a pin in that. Now imagine you're a government worker. Government workers don't get paid as much as a lot of people do in the private sector on average. Not without good reason. They have way better benefits, and their job security is technically a lot better. But on average, they do get paid a little bit less. And if we can accept that most people's wages have not kept up with the rising prices of food, housing prices, and thanks to Trump, definitely soon to be the automobile industry. If we accept that, consider you're a government employee. You're probably living some form of paycheck to paycheck. You may not think you're living paycheck to paycheck because you've got like $1,000 in savings, but that's not going to do you a whole lot of good if you lose your job tomorrow. So you are actually living paycheck to paycheck, statistically. If you are that person and somebody is not so subtly threatening your job with, "I just want to know a little bit of information, that's all I'm trying to do," that is a far more traumatic thing for somebody whose next meal for them, their family, their loved ones, their children is reliant on that income. And their ability to get another job afterwards is reliant on that too. Because you don't want to be the person who has to go, I was fired from the federal government. Can I get a job at McDonald's?
Apropos of nothing, I did just update my address with TreatStream.
You're great at this.
So if you send me a hamburger from Wendy's, which I think is the only thing I selected, it'll actually come to me at some point. I think. I don't know. But yeah, feeding kids is expensive.
Especially when they're picky.
Oh my god.
And you can't just do so like I have a friend over right now, one of my best friends that I've had for years. And last night, while we were all gaming, I prepared a meal and then tossed it into the oven so that it could be a thing consumed over the next day, basically. And the meal, I've talked about it on stream. It's a thing that my mom taught me how to make. It is just you scallop potatoes, you scallop onions, you throw in like jarred garlic, and then you cut up hot dogs, and you add cheese, and you bake it all in the oven until you get effectively a casserole that didn't take you a whole lot of effort. Season it with whatever you want. It's a very low effort dish, and it probably costs for the whole skillet maybe $3.50 worth of food. And I got reminded as soon as I woke up, my friend was just like, so you know that's a struggle meal, right? And I was like, oh, that's why my mom taught me how to make it when we didn't have money. And she wouldn't tell me we didn't have money because she was a mother of a child who didn't want to tell them that.
It's like Bubble and Squeak. If you go to a fancy restaurant, sometimes you'll see Bubble and Squeak as like something that they'll do as a side dish. But its origins are basically like what British people would have had in the pantry that they wouldn't have to like go out and buy new food for, like just random leftovers, essentially.
Yup. Excellent was taken says, I love struggle meals though. I do too. They're very, very comforting to me, but I think the reason they're comforting to me more than anything is that I grew up really poor. So I don't like hot dogs. Not really. Like, I'll eat a hot dog if it's what's available, but I never go out seeking a hot dog. But there's a lot of meals that involve hot dogs that I really like. And I don't think it's because I specifically really like those meals because of the taste and flavor. I think I'm remembering a part of my childhood that I was a little worse for wear on than I thought about. Moriarty says, hot dogs are the most mid food ever. They are. They are a very mid food, but I definitely enjoy myself a lot of struggle meals that are made with hot dogs. I learned how to make biscuits and gravy with hot dogs. Mac and cheese with hot
dogs is fine.
Mac and cheese with hot dogs is also fantastic. Olivia says, what would you say to someone like Steve McRae who's gone full transphobe? I would say nothing.
Fuck Steve McRae is what I would say.
I would say that as an individual, he stopped being worth my time a very long time ago. And it is not I would not say something to them. I consider that very far beneath me.
Yeah.
Also, Moriarty, since you're here, have you gotten Monster Hunter Wilds? Because if so, I need your hunter ID. Or we should play Fortnite again at some point. One or the other, or both. Don't care which.
I have been playing that fucking beaver game, Timberborn. Timberborn. It's a city building game where you're a bunch of beavers, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
That's all I got. It's what it tickles all the right spots in my brain. It's technically still in early access, but I have fun with it. Okay. Anyway,
what do we got next?
Next up,
is it more Musk?
No, it's Kevin Sorbo. He posted a meme that said, "Imagine, if you will, a government so corrupt that it tries to convince the people that accountability is illegal." Like, so you mean the Trump
hold on a minute.
administration?
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a lot of what the Trump admin's been doing.
Is he coming around to being anti-Trump? I don't think so. Like, that's what it sounds like.
No, I don't think that's Kevin Sorbo. That's unless somebody took over his account. We need to go check and see if he's dead.
Who cares if he's dead? It's fucking Kevin Sorbo.
I'm sure somebody would be disappointed.
Scott D says,
it's K-Swords, I have to make the joke.
Timberborn says, we are the beaver, we're furry, and we're free. I joke around with my my partner a lot, like, she'll ask me, oh, what are you doing? I'm playing with my beaver. Playing with my beavers, because I love playing with my beavers. It's so fun playing with my beavers.
One of my mods just sent me a link to Timberborn and was like, actually, it's a pretty cool game. You should try it.
It is a good game. I enjoy it.
I'd say my only hang up is that right now, me and practically all of my real life friends have all been playing Monster Hunter.
Except for me, because I've been playing Timberborn.
And get Monster Hunter and play with me. It's a fun fucking game.
I'm sure it is, but probably not for me. Everybody says that Cyberpunk is a fun game, but like I've played like an hour or two and been like, eh.
Okay, so here's the thing with Monster Hunter. Do you like Ocarina of Time?
Yes.
Do you like the boss fights in Ocarina of Time?
I guess.
Would you like a game that is mostly boss fights of that scale with a control scheme very close to Ocarina of Time's? And the entire thing is you are downing these bosses with your friends.
I don't know.
And the game is the epitome of beat up a motherfucker with another motherfucker. Because when you kill a monster, you get its bones, its skin, all of the shit that it had as a living being, and you have to craft weapons with the things you pulled up from the monster.
I don't know.
I've got it. GE's got it. He hasn't had much time to play it, but he's got it too.
Yeah, I mean, but that's how I got into Magic, was through GE. Fuck him.
Yeah, and then you got to play it with your kids.
With my kids? Oh, that sounds like work.
You're a dad. Of course it's work.
Fucking spending time with my kids.
Jesus Christ. Moriarty says, speaking of beavers, we'll take the opportunity to recommend watching the movie Hundreds of Beavers. I'm actually not familiar with that movie.
I'm not familiar with it either.
Is it in the public domain? Am I able to do this on stream without getting in trouble? Or let me see here. Hold on. Oh, 2022. It's definitely not in the public domain. Definitely not. Said Rhino's looking uncomfy now. I don't know what he's doing on his computer over there.
I'm updating Treat Stream to because I'm actually kind of hungry right now, and I'm like, oh, maybe somebody could send me food. But I don't know how it fucking works.
Something fishy says, wait, what kind of beaver? The best kind. I don't know. I'd say the edible kind, but I think beavers are edible in any case.
Sit on my face.
Oh my god, what the?
Let me eat that beaver.
Jesus Christ. What's our next tweet?
Are we doing tweets? I don't fucking know. I've got alcohol again. I haven't done alcohol in a while. I don't know how this works with alcohol. Liz Churchill says, oh, wow, President Trump should sue her. He's a serial misogynist, a sexual abuser, a rapist, and he's in the White House, says Canadian Green Party leader Elizabeth May. Good for fucking her.
But wait, hold on. We actually have a court document that states that he is those things.
Those are accurate things about President Trump.
Like, you don't actually have to say allegedly when it comes to calling Trump a rapist. Because that's a thing we had. It was a New York court, too, wasn't it?
Something like that. I don't fucking know. He is a rapist. That is a fact of law.
Yeah, let's see here. A jury verdict in May 2023 found Trump liable for sexually abusing and defaming Carroll and ordered him to pay $5 million in damages. He then made an unsuccessful counterclaim in December of 2024 and lost his appeal. That was E. Jean Carroll versus Donald Trump. So, I'm sorry that she thinks that that's a thing to sue over, but no, we have legal documentation from recent years that you are able to say those things about the sitting United States president. There's nothing libelistic about it. There's nothing slanderous about it. That is just what the jury found.
Thank you for the hydrate, Van Briggs.
So I don't know when the fuck she's coming from.
Yeah, nope. Trump should sue her for saying the things that have already been legally determined to be accurate. Yeah.
Yep, it's what we have here is a failure to something. Human
and then in response to that, someone said Canada should immediately issue an apology. So here's
Canada, the country of Canada.
So here's the thing, though. We're so good at passive-aggressive apologies. You don't want to demand an apology from Canada. So we'll be like, I'm sorry that you guys elected a fucking idiot.
I'm sorry.
I am so sorry that you elected a fucking idiot to lead your country. That deeply pains me, that you elected a fucking idiot to lead your country. But that is what it is, so we're going to have to deal with it. So we will go fucking Canadian on your ass, if necessary.
Y'all are responsible for enough war crimes. I don't want to hear the term.
We are the reason for
Canadian.
the Geneva Convention. You guys think it was the Nazis? It was fucking us.
No, yeah, it's called the Geneva Suggestions.
Stopped
for
after
you.
Once.
For you, it's the Geneva Suggestions, and you know it.
Yeah, yeah. Don't fuck with Canada. We will mess you the fuck up.
Jesus Christ. She's coming from a place of
apparently Van
Elizabeth
Briggs
May.
renamed a hat. I'm sorry, Van Briggs. I didn't see that. You get the fascinator.
I'm not going to make the joke again.
That it's fascinating?
It's the least fascinating thing on this stream.
Okay. The red-headed libertarian says if women stopped working, everything would be fine. If men stopped working, everyone would die. This was quoting a video that said the same thing.
That's only the case because of how many people are currently employed that are men versus women. But if you just had women working in the same positions that the men were, then it wouldn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're fine.
So the thing that she was looking at was there was some video about a guy who he had nothing to back it up, but he was saying like, oh, the men protect the women, and so that's what allows women to be the girl boss sort of thing. But when studies have actually been done in it, societies have been found in the past to be fairly equitable, because as it turns out, a woman can take down a woolly mammoth the same as a man.
Yeah, this cool thing about tools, they're equalizers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not threatened by a woman. What if the woman had a gun?
Jester says, on the war crimes, well, we're waiting.
Oh my fucking god. I heard that in Jaleel White's voice.
I don't know who Jaleel White is.
Steve Urkel.
Okay.
He's not Steve Urkel, just Urkel. So Urkel from Family Matters.
I know who Urkel is.
Right. He was also the original United States voice of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
And one of the phrases that he said a lot in the show was, I'm waiting.
Okay.
Just to hear that in Urkel's voice. That's what you have. That's what I heard when I read that.
Fair enough.
Here says, did I hear the Geneva checklist?
The Geneva Suggestions. Virgil L. Walker says, we have $36 trillion in debt and we currently run $2 trillion in budget deficits and people are angry about tariffs and Doge cuts. You've got to be kidding. Here's the thing, though. The Doge cuts and tariffs and whatnot are not even going to come close to equalizing that shit.
Like, why are we upset about the tariffs and the Doge cuts?
you
Because the
want
Doge cuts and tariffs affect
actually-
American citizens.
If you want to actually make a difference in the deficit or in the debt, then you cut the military. You don't cut Social
We're
Security.
never going to do that.
You don't cut any of the other programs you don't cut SNAP benefits. You don't cut the programs that they're aiming for. You cut the military. That if you're actually concerned about balancing the budget, you cut the military because it's the number one spending thing that the U.S. has. And it's like the U.S. military spends like 5 times more. I don't know the exact number. It was somewhere around there. 5 times more than the next biggest military spender on the planet. So, fuck you with the, like, no, cutting Social Security is not going to get you out of debt.
Fuck you with your pink hair.
No, fuck you with your gung-ho, we must spend all we can on the military and pay for it by cutting Social Security nonsense. Alex Marshall says, tax the billionaires. Indeed. I agree. They should be taxed.
Just remember, there's a reason that we call it the pound of flesh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, apparently that was the last tweet. What the fuck?
We're only like, what, 5 this time?
No, I think I got more than that. We got 1, 2, 3 Musks, 4 Musks, and then a Case Orbs, and a Liz, and a Chica, and a Redhead. Huh. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess.
Hey, it felt like a lot less than that.
Apparently it did feel, well, I mean, it was like 4 or 5 Musk in there.
I guess that's why it felt like it was fewer, because it felt like one elongated Elon tweet.
Anyway, if y'all aren't going to buy me some Wendy's, I'm going to have to cook a frozen burger that I have in my fridge. So
Is it like from the store, or is it like a food prepped burger?
I don't know what the difference there is.
Of a burger patty you get from the store, which is usually just like meat and filler, versus a food prepped burger where you've taken ground beef and you've mixed all of your seasonings and everything else you wanted to it and then prepped it yourself.
I haven't made a ground beef burger myself. It is a frozen ground beef burger. Although I feel like our food regulations are different. So our frozen burger has more beef in it than yours.
That's very likely true. Razor says that his treat stream is empty.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds like me just not knowing how to set it up.
Yeah.
So, but I still want a burger because I talked about it. So I'm going to go make one. So fuck you for not buying me a burger that I didn't make it possible for you to buy.
Would that make it an impossible burger?
Oh, it's an impossible burger. Okay, sure. Why not? As always, fuck off.